Good evening, Lake Orion. Hey, I voted today. Did you vote today? I'm your host, Anthony, and I am in a war.
I'll sue you.
Hello, guys. How you doing? Welcome.
Hi, how are you doing, guys? Welcome to the Terror Meetings. I'll sue you.
I'll sue you.
All
right, guys. All right. We have a show to do. Okay? We have a show to do, gentlemen. Okay?
All right.
Let's just calm the peace. Remember, positive thinking environment.
Okay.
Positive thinking environment.
Okay. Let's talk about sports like civilized humans.
You both are civilized, yes.
All right. Sammy, what do you think of the Pistons?
They suck.
Okay.
They're awful.
I knew I'd get a little rise out of them for that one. Mm-hmm. All right. We're not going to talk about them yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Back in your cage.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about a little bit of college football.
You want to start the day with college football?
Sure. Let's start it with college football.
Dave Brandon out in Michigan.
Good.
You know, if you look at it here, this is a long time coming. You know Brady Hoke's going to be fired next.
Yes.
A lot of people are speculating that Jim Harbaugh is going to be the next coach at Michigan.
What do you think? Is he or no?
I think he will be the head coach at Michigan.
Ooh, that's risky.
Because here's why. He knows how to bring somebody there. And I would give them both the head coach and athletic director's job immediately. I would do that if I am Mark Schemmert, the president over at Michigan. I would give Jim Harbaugh the power of intercollegiate athletics and also a coach. Sort of like what they do, what happens at Clarkson with Dan Fife coaching the boys basketball team, and he coaches them high school.
There's a difference between high school and college. In college, you have a lot more, as far as like you have a lot more business meetings to go to. You have a lot more decision making to do. You have to be. I mean, with high school, it's easier to do. In college, it's a little bit more harder to do because you're trying to focus on a program. In Dan Fife's case, he's the basketball coach at Clarkston. Also, he's stepping down as AD next year. But, I mean, that's a little bit easier to do. So it's a little bit easier for him to do.
Are you sure? Can you confirm that?
In a football program, it's
Can you confirm that Fife stepping down?
I've heard sources. But anyways, with a football program,
I don't buy that.
And AD with football program and becoming the athletic director, that's very difficult.
I think Jim Harbaugh would be perfect for this.
I don't think he wants it.
It would be perfect.
Too much pressure on him.
I don't think he'd take the AD spot because he doesn't want to worry about girls volleyball. He wants to coach football. That's all the guy wants to do. You know what I mean?
A lot of successful men have done very well coaching and also being the AD. I think it would make perfect sense in Michigan.
Not in college.
I don't know if that's Harbaugh's
Not in
forte.
college, Sam.
Well, then who do you think would be the best fit for the athletic director's job in Michigan?
I don't know.
I think Arkansas's AD's got a shot. A lot of people look at. Do you think the image of Bo Schembechler has to do with the reason why? Do you think Michigan has to step away from the Bo Schembechler era and get somebody else?
Yes.
Why? Even though it's failed in the past.
With all due respect, he's been dead a long time. This whole Michigan man stuff is kind of garbage. It's about winning football games.
I think a lot of Michigan
And
people
that's
would be
about
very
it.
sensitive to you right now with that comment.
Well, they can keep going the way they want to keep going and win 4 games a year.
Remember, Rich Rodriguez, of course, he was not a Michigan man. Remember, he came in 2008, and look what happened in 3 years. He got canned.
Did he have?
And look what he's doing over at Arizona right now.
Thank you. Did he have any support at Michigan?
He never had any support because you had all the politics, all the bickering, all the donors, all the
So you're blaming alumni.
Absolutely, I'm blaming the alumni for Rich Rodriguez being fired.
So you're saying, okay, now you go in a little bit of a brief different topic. So you're saying if Lake Orion going through the struggles, you're pretty much blaming the alumni.
No, that's a different topic.
Okay.
But I'm saying the reason why that Michigan is right now struggling, is because, the reason why Rich Rodriguez got a bad shake at Michigan, you see how much political pressure Michigan gets. You see how much national attention Michigan gets. They view Michigan as a brand. And you look at what the brand is doing right now, especially when you look at an athletic department, a lot of the things go basically on football. And basically, football runs the asylum. You know what I mean? Like in other sports, at smaller schools like Oakland, men's basketball runs the asylum and the athletic department. But basically, in these bigger schools, football is the one that runs the main asylum right now.
I think Michigan needs to look to their little brother.
Yeah.
They play football the way Michigan should be playing football.
Right.
They focus on football. Mm-hmm. They don't focus on the brand, the hashtags, the sayings,
with Michigan State,
making
they
money,
focus on
the
football.
gimmicks.
They also focus on basketball. They focus on.
They do,
others.
but
it's important to spread the influence among other sports.
Sure.
Well, here's the thing with Michigan State. I mean, like, you get a 3-star recruit going there, even a 2-star recruit. Mark D'Antonio and his staff develops players. He develops them and makes them better players. You see the reason why there's a lot of Spartans playing NFL today. There's this reason why you see 3 different quarterbacks playing in the NFL today. I mean, we went to Michigan State since 2007. Actually, since 2005 with Drew Stanton in there. But you look at what Michigan State has done as a program. They've been there longevity. That's important. They get a big game this week, Ohio State. That's going to be fun right there. But they have
MSU will win that game.
They have the tools, I think, to be a successful program for a long, long time. And what Mark D'Antonio is doing at Michigan State, he's doing it the right way in East Lansing. And what Michigan's had to go through, I think Brady Hoke, with the national attention to the hashtags, you're right, he's got to go, unfortunately. He's got to go.
He doesn't have a program. D'Antonio has a program, has a system, has a culture.
It seems like the whole Shane Morris situation is the thing that's really taking down the Michigan program.
That's a little factor.
Shane Morris has been a disaster even when he was at Warren De La Salle, and
now you're blasting Shane Morris.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
That's harsh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Michigan will sort itself out. They'll be back to prominence at some point.
No, they won't.
Yeah, at some point they will. Especially if they get Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, they get Jim Harbaugh, yeah.
All bets are off.
All bets are off. There's a big game.
There's a big game on Saturday. In East Lansing at 8 o'clock on ABC. Prime time. OSU at MSU.
I think they're overhyping this game.
What?
The key to this game is,
Yeah.
can Michigan State's defense stop J.T. Barrett? I know Tawan Jones said today that J.T. Barrett was a better quarterback than Braxton Miller. I mean, that's a damning quote right there. To see that J.T. Barrett, he's a better player than Braxton Miller. Well, if you're J.T. Barrett, this is a chance to prove himself against a very good defense. And the other side, you got a very good offense, of course, led by Connor Cook, who's going to go up against Joey Bassa of Ohio State. In this game here, I think I like Michigan State in this game because of the experience. Being at home is important. I just did the thing right there. I'm going to say Michigan State wins this game. I'm going to say 35-24.
Bit of a high score.
Yep.
I think that here's the reason why I say it's overhyped. I think because it's going to be a Michigan State rout. I just think Ohio State is not. I think Ohio State's all bluff. Ohio State had a close game with Penn State a couple weeks ago. Michigan State's defense is still very physical, very vicious, not to mention the experience on that team. I just think Michigan State being at home and being in front of that crowd and they just play nasty defense. I think Ohio State has no chance. I'm going to say 35-14.
If you look at Michigan State, basically, the way that they're playing right now, I mean, like, if they they got to be careful. You know what I mean? Ohio State's not a bad team. Even when they lost to Virginia Tech, and that was an embarrassment.
That was a
That's
long
killing the
time
Big
ago.
Ten right now.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, they're killing the Big Ten.
All right. Well, when we come back, we're going to get into big boy football.
The Orion Lighted Parade is a tradition that ushers in the holiday season here in the Orion area. Families line the streets in the village to enjoy this festive event, but it wouldn't be possible without the Holly Jolly Folly. This year's fundraiser is scheduled to take place on Friday, December 5th at Golling Buick GMC, located at 1491 South Lapeer Road. Enjoy live entertainment, a silent auction, a cash bar, and a 50-50 raffle. Food will be provided by Italia Gardens. Tickets are $35 per person and are available at Golling Buick GMC. For more information, call the Orion Area Parade Group at 248-802-5521 or visit orionlightedparade.org.
Welcome back to Between Terminus. Get out of my shot!
You
Get out of my shot!
Yeah.
You, how dare you?
You're terrible.
Ah! Ah!
You're a horrible man.
I would say,
Julia.
I will say this, gentlemen. That host in that commercial, that guy who did the commercial is a great man. He's a great. I give him all the love in the world. Anyways, let's talk to the next topic. The Lions. You're both of your favorite teams. The Lions. Look at how happy you are. You both.
Who is this wise
Who
guy?
is this wise guy?
Hey, look, you both know that I am better than both of you. Enough said. I am just simply better than both of you. While you two fight like imbeciles, here I am making peace. And watching both of you fight, I'm just.
Can we talk, Lions?
Can we talk Lions?
All right, let's talk Lions. Let's talk Lions, you bunch of losers. Ay.
You talking about the Lions?
Let's
Lovable
start talking
losers?
about the Lions.
All right, what
They
about
play
them? Oh,
Miami.
yeah.
Hey, they're playing a team that shut down, made Philip Rivers look like a dancing goop. It made Philip Rivers look like you playing out there on a football field.
Guess who my starting fantasy quarterback was this week?
Philip Rivers.
Guess how many points he got for me?
-3.
No, not that bad. -2.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Hey, gotta give props at Miami defense. But they're playing the Lions this week.
At home.
Half Ford Field.
The Lions are at home, coming
Right.
off a bye week. Get some players
Calvin
back.
Johnson's back.
Let's
Reggie
hope
Bush is
so.
back.
Let's hope so.
Calvin said he was going to be back.
Okay, let's just make sure. Let's all make sure.
Well, the Lions have got an extra week of rest, extra week to prepare. So you look at how, and then Fairley's going to be out for some time. I think the one guy that got arrested for marijuana is supposed to be coming back.
He's back.
He's back.
Just
So
smoking a little doobie in his hotel room.
I will say this. I think the Lions are going to be just fine this week. I think the thing is Miami's defense is dangerous. They're good. They have an identity, which is their defense. I'm very curious to see how Miami's defense guards the Lions wide receivers, particularly Golden Tate and Calvin Johnson.
Ryan Tannehill has improved greatly in the last 3 weeks. He's played much better. Miami has a defense, for God's sakes. That defense has made some teams look silly. Let's not forget that Miami's in the same division as the New York Jets. My God.
And the New England Patriots.
Did
They
they
haven't
beat
played
the
the-
Patriots?
Yeah, they
Week
did beat
one?
the Patriots. Yeah, and Miami. I mean, Miami is a serious team here to be reckoned with. You know, when you look at this game here for the Lions, it's a tough matchup for the Lions, especially because that offensive line, I think, is probably one of the most overrated lines in the National Football
The
League.
Lions?
The Lions?
offensive
They're not
line.
overrated.
They're not overrated.
Yes, they
No.
They're bad.
They're bad.
They're
I know
not
they're
good.
bad.
They've struggled.
This is why right now I like Miami's chances going into Ford Field, knocking off the Lions. I think they're going to do it pretty convincingly because I think Mike Wallace is going to be huge in this game. I think Lamar Miller is going to be huge in
He's
this
out.
game.
Isn't he out?
No,
Is he
it's
not
the
out?
other guy.
Lamar's not out?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
But I think Ryan Tannehill with his arm strength is Gonna test they're gonna test like the so-called Lions super corners of the desk. I think he's gonna throw for 3 touchdowns against the Hello Kitties defense. They're the new Hello Kitties.
I think the Lions are going to get the job done. It's going to be close, a lot like New Orleans, a lot like I think the Lions can get it done. I think it's going to be very close. I think the home crowd has always been a positive for the Lions. I think that, the Lions always play harder at home. They rarely want to do it for their fans. I think the Lions are going to get the job done against the Dolphins this week. I think it'll be probably 20-17 around there. I think that I cannot see the Dolphins going into Ford Field and beating the Lions. Then again, I didn't see the Buffalo Bills coming into Detroit and beating the Lions. But the Bills are 5-3 this year.
So are the Dolphins.
If the Bills can go on the Ford Field and beat the Lions, the Dolphins can go in and beat the Lions. I have Baltimore winning this game. I have Miami winning this game by 3 touchdowns over the Lions. 3 touchdowns. Yeah! 3 touchdowns over the Lions.
Wow.
And Green Bay will be leading the NFC. Will be tied with the NFC North at the end of the day on Sunday night.
Panic button meter on, please.
Oh, man.
You're killing Ian, aren't you, Sammy?
You got no faith in the Lions team.
Absolutely no faith, because we've seen this before. They went 6-2. Remember last year? They went 6-2 last year, and then they went 1-7 the second half of the year.
Yeah, I was
Why
there.
don't you think it's gonna happen this year with this?
I
Because
do.
of experience.
I do.
It's gonna
I'm
happen.
trying to be hopeful.
It's gonna happen.
I feel like
it's gonna happen.
beaten
Ian.
old maid.
The Lions are gonna miss the playoffs. It's gonna happen. They have a tough schedule. They got to play at Arizona, at Foxborough, at Lambeau, at Chicago. My God. Those are 5 games I think the Lions could lose.
All right. Let's say they go 4-4. 10-6, not gonna get them into the playoffs.
Nope.
10-6 would get them in the playoffs, yes.
Sam, 10-6.
I can see the
but
Lions winning.
They're going to tank this season.
What
They're gonna
about
tank
The Lions are going to
Dallas?
win at Chicago.
Dallas? I think, with the Cowboys, if Romo's not back healthy, they're in trouble.
They've fallen off. San Fran's fallen off. Seattle doesn't look like
San
world
Fran's
beaters.
going to be back. Seattle's going to be back. You just watch. San Fran and Seattle will be back.
I'm more worried about our division right now at the moment.
Yeah.
You got to be worried about Green Bay. Minnesota got a good win the other day against Washington. And then, obviously, Chicago. Chicago's in turmoil right now as we speak, though you never know with the Bears.
Trying times.
The Lions, I think they lose to Miami this week.
What's their record the rest of the way?
Lions.
Next 8 games, what's the record?
Next 8 games. I'm going to say 2-6.
2-6?
They're going to lose some stupid games.
I would
just watch.
assume, yeah. Well, they got Tampa,
Yes.
got Miami,
Yep.
got the
Miami's
Vikings.
lost. Vikings at home, that's a loss. They'll
What?
find a way to lose that game.
You're just
Well,
flat out.
Adrian Peterson might be back for that game.
You're just flat out saying the Lions are the Lions. There's nothing different this year.
Not different.
Hey, folks, hot start.
Yep.
Cold finish.
Cold finish. You
That might be the
expect
Dairy
that.
Queen commercial. Hot eats, cool treats.
You gotta expect that if you're a Lions
I
fan.
love Dairy Queen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you get that for us to eat one day?
You
We'll
gotta
see.
expect that with this team. The Lions are gonna be. You gotta expect disaster.
Do you want to bet on this game at all?
We'll be right back with Between Terminas here on ONTV.
We already betting once.
Hello, Lake Orion. It's Anthony Terramina, co-host of Between Terminas. I want to let you know of a new show called History Now. In it, we're going to talk about global, national, and political events that occur in our lifetime. We're going to also have guests and also have co-hosts as well, and also plenty of surprises. Catch us on History Now here on ONTV.
Hello, Lake Orion and Oakland County. This is Sammy Termina here, talking a new show here called OA Now. We're going to talk about sports from football to basketball to volleyball to track and field to soccer, cross country, etc. here on OA Now on ON TV.
Welcome back to Between Terminas here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Yeah.
History
I'm
now.
off to a good start.
What?
This is our 0-3.
Yeah?
They're done.
They're done?
They're done. They're done. They're done.
They got 79 more games!
They're done. They're not going to beat the Bulls. They're not going to beat the Cavs. They're not going to beat the Bucks. They're not going to beat the Pacers. This was a disaster waiting to happen. Tom Gores is going to be jumping off a cliff by the end of the year.
In
Yeah.
LA or in Detroit?
In Detroit. You'll be jumping off the Ambassador Bridge into the Detroit River.
That would be quite a story, wouldn't it?
Yes, that would be.
And I'd be taking you out to dinner right after.
Yes, you would be.
You have no faith in Stan Van.
Absolutely no faith.
None.
None.
Why?
Because you got to look at this team. They can't shoot. They can't even do anything right. They don't defend well. They can't shoot. You put Kyle Singler in there on defense. He's lazy as can be. And then, of course, you look at the Pistons. This is a terrible basketball team. And Stan Van Gundy's having a disaster. He's going to have a disaster. Well, look at his last year in Miami. He only won 13 games, and he was 10. And guess who took over that team? Pat Riley. And a few games later, they won an NBA championship.
I don't know if all your numbers and facts are correct on that one. We'll check that out, though.
Well, the Pistons are a team that's in transition right now at the moment. They really
For a
are.
while.
For a while, ever since.
But I'm
Chuck Mills
talking
got
about, new coaching staff, new style. You have to get it in a game-like situation. I think Stan Van Gundy's trying to figure out his team right now. Right now, it looks like that some of these players might not be the answer in the future. Some of these players might have to go. Some of these players are struggling with Stan Van Gundy's coaching adjustments and coaching approaches. So, and
You think he's the right man for the job? The players might not be here now, but is the coach / president in place?
No.
To be honest with you, I think right now, yes, because Stan Van Gundy is a very, very good coach, very knowledgeable coach, very successful coach. Obviously, he has not won an NBA championship, but I think that the goal is to get the Pistons back to prevalence. And I think that Stan Van Gundy is the type of coach that can do it. Do I think that his team is very good? No. I have a couple of sources. A good friend of mine, my former manager, partner in crime, Matt Stahelski, who works for the Orlando Magic, told me that he didn't think the Pistons looked very good. They had a 3-hour practice right before a preseason game. And, that's very difficult to have a 3-hour practice for a preseason game. Very, very difficult. And he didn't think the Pistons looked very impressive. So I'm agreeing with him, and I just think that the Pistons, once they get the right pieces, they'll be fine. But right now they're going through a transition period.
They will not make the playoffs. This team is god-awful. This team, Greg Monroe is going to be a free agent after the year. You know that. You look at this team, they really don't have a true point guard. Brandon Jennings is overrated. He is a joke. And then as a player. And then you look at the
You've been critical about him.
and then you look at Andre Drummond. I haven't been sold on Drummond.
I'm sold on Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond's the best player.
And of course you got Josh Smith. I think it's been a disastrous deal with Josh Smith. I think that he's virtually a power forward. He's virtually got 2 power forwards on this team. It's the same problem that they've had the last few seasons. Joe Dumars did a complete disaster with this team. But I blame Karen Davison for that. And then of course and then Tom Gores, he's done nothing but the same with this franchise.
At least they got a new screen.
Doesn't matter. Awful.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to do call out.
You're going to call somebody out?
Yeah.
Been a while.
Yeah.
About time.
I'm going to do call out this week. as I go through the halls, I look at my cart, which for some reason people look like that it's a trash can. It's not a trash can. It's a cart. So the reason why, I have my books in there, my coat and everything is in there. So I'm going to call out the Lake Orion student body. Why? Simple. Look, the last few days has been chaotic, especially with the recent callings of certain names and of certain respects. You have to respect your elders. I'm not talking about everyone here. Everyone, I'm talking about quite a bit, especially at the younger levels. I think that the younger levels need to do a better job at respecting their elders, especially those in the staff levels. Lake Orion student body, I think you guys can do better. The older students are doing a fairly good job. You should follow their example. Lake Orion young ones, learn from the best.
At least I got a call this week. Since it's election day, you know what I mean? Got to give out my American patriotism.
You voted, right?
I voted yes.
So did I.
Even though I do support Canada and I support other countries. I do support Canada, I do support other countries. And of course, I do have I should have put a big flag in somebody's athletic director's office.
Hitting the panic button, Mir.
Uh-huh. Yep, I will do that. Yeah! I'll put a Canadian flag in someone's athletic director's office. And Bob Dowd's office will get it too. And the last one I'm going to call is Scott Walker. Scott Walker, what? Let's look at it yourself here. I said in my political insights, I look at projections of Wisconsin. What? I'm a Republican myself. I understand that you are a conservative Republican, a moderate Republican. Some of the things you don't do in Wisconsin, you did them wrong. Why would you do that? Why would you create a huge rally in 2011? Basically said basically almost nearly all the state of Wisconsin near the state capitol building. What have you done? I said tonight you would lose tonight. If you win tonight, I'll be shocked. You've been in more recalls than you've had in the last 3 years than Ian and Anthony combined. Who are you? You're Bambi. That's who you are. Scott Walker, you're Bambi. That's all I'm going to say.
I was in Wisconsin over the weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I will say this. I would think the biggest controversial thing is how we eliminated collective bargaining in Wisconsin. Numerous protests, but also he went through a recall election and he survived the recall election. So, give him credit for that. He's going for re-election tonight as governor. We'll see how it goes in Wisconsin. Just like we'll see in Michigan. We got Governor Rick Snyder versus Mark Schauer tonight.
Hey, if you guys have time, fans, go out and vote. Please vote, because you can make a huge impact on a certain country and a certain state.
Canada? Ontario?
I'm putting a Canadian flag in a couple of athletic directors' offices, including one here at Beloved Lake Orion.
Are you prepared to go to jail?
Yes, I am prepared to go to jail.
How many times have you been already?
I haven't been to jail yet.
All right, well.
And I hope it stays that way.
Maybe next week we'll do a show from the Clink.
Hey, we got 3-year anniversary show next week.
Really?
Yes, 3-year anniversary.
Wow, that's exciting.
I know.
3 years.
Watch our 3-year anniversary show next week on Between Terminas here on ONTV.
Monday at 6 o'clock.